My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. And before I introduce our expert panelists and our partner sponsor, let me share some brief housekeeping items. We'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to ask questions. Next, this webinar is CPE eligible, so we'll be having 4 polling questions, and again, use your GoToWebinar control panel to answer each poll, or if not getting CPE, to benchmark your peers. Please do allow 3 to 4 days for CPE certificates. Also regarding CPE, you'll receive a brief survey directly after the webcast today, so please complete that. And finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. And in that email, there'll be a link to a handout from Prophix with useful links. So with that, I'd like to tell you a bit about our sponsor, Prophix. Ambitious finance leaders use Prophix to drive progress, improving the speed and accuracy of decision-making. Prophix's financial performance platform elevates the talents of finance teams to do their best work, crush complexity, reduce uncertainty, and illuminate insights with access to best-in-class AI insights and planning, budgeting, forecasting, reporting, and consolidation functionalities. Prophix is a private company backed by HG Capital, a leading investor in software and service businesses. More than 2,500 active customers across the globe rely on Prophix to achieve success. For more information, visit prophix.com. So with that, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Adrian Wilkinson. He has more than 25 years of experience, and he is product marketing manager at Prophix Software. Adrian, welcome, and please take it away.
Great. Thank you so much for the introduction, Neil. So as Neil mentioned, my name is Adrian Wilkinson. I am a product marketing manager here at Prophix. And thank you for joining me today. And thanks to Controllers Council for making this session possible and inviting me to speak. So just a little bit about me. I've been in the B2B space for probably over 25 years now, primarily in product marketing, but I have done stints within sales. And when I first started my career, I was doing pre and post sale support. So I was actually in the field dealing with technology and a lot of connectivity. So as a little aside, my background is in computer science, and somehow I found my career path take me into product marketing. On the personal side, I have 3 fantastic women in my life. My wife and my 2 beautiful children, one in university and another one just about to enter into university. I love golf. This image here is like a highlight moment for me, just as I was cresting one of those age milestones. I was able to get a hole-in-one, my one and only hole-in-one, but it was nice timing. And a huge fan of Formula One, even long before Drive to Survive came out on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So let's go on to the agenda here. What I want to cover off today is go through a brief history of AI. I think there's still some good foundational information that we can get out of looking back on the history of AI. Where do we stand with generative AI today? How is AI solving the finance challenges that we're dealing with currently? And then as a wrap up, AI as a critical financial tool. Let's start off right out of the gate. Let's have a polling session, our polling question. So Neil, if you could throw that up.
All right. How much training have you completed in machine learning and artificial intelligence? Select one of the following. Easy multiple choice.
So I'm very interested in seeing the results of this, because we did research a little over a year ago, and I want to see how much the needle has moved since that research, given everything that's transpired in the past year.
Absolutely. About a year ago, maybe the word ChatGPT was just murmuring off the lips of peeps, right? Or maybe it was a little before that.
Yeah, just about that. Forget the exact date, November it came out, but yeah, it's it's in the rearview mirror, but not that long ago.
All right, so please take just a few more seconds here to answer this poll. All, and we're getting close to voting has trickled off here. So let's go ahead and close it and share the results.
Oh, wow. Okay, just having a look the results on the screen. The good thing is there's been some uptick, but at the same time, it still reflects what we saw a year ago. So Neil, if you could just move on to the next slide.
Okay. Whoops. Here we are.
There we go. So there's not a heck of a lot of difference between where we were a little, kind of pre-GPT 3.5 and where we are today. So our research basically shone a light on the true extent and the skills deficit in the modern finance function. Astonishingly, at that time a year ago, 61% of finance professionals have received training and have received no training in machine learning and AI, and 18% claim to be self-taught. Only 18% or 11% have received more than a day's training, leaving 10% that have received less than a day. FSN's research in the first half of 2022 confirms that 71% of finance professionals believe they are utilizing AI and machine learning by the end of the decade. Despite this noteworthy optimism, only 4% claim to have it in place now, leaving 26% who say it is either not achievable by 2030 or they don't need this capability at all, which is shocking. One of the pivotal issues relating to the feasibility of delivering AI machine learning capabilities in the finance function is the availability of prerequisite skills. There is a profound skills gap in the finance function, and 71% of finance functions are pinning their hopes on increasing data science headcount to meet their objectives by 2030. If you could move it on to the next slide, Neil. I'm going to briefly dive into the history of AI and mention Alan Turing. In his 1950 paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence, he initially asked, can machines think? But he modified the question soon after to, can machines do what we can do? He makes use of a party game known as the imitation game, a vehicle to demonstrate how this question might play out. The way the game would play out is a man and woman would go into separate rooms and guests would ask them questions to try and tell them apart. The wrinkle is each person in the respective room would respond to the questions by providing typewritten answers pretending to be the other person. Turing modified the game by asking what would happen if you replaced the man or woman with a computer. Would the party guests be able to identify who is who? Now take the basis of this game and transition it to a situation where a person is conversing only with a computer. Will the computer be capable of having a conversation at a level that a person can't tell that it isn't another person they're interacting with? This eventually became known as the Turing test. Basically, it is a test of machine or a computer's ability to exhibit intelligent human behavior well enough to convince a human that they're talking to another person. Kind of like applications using ChatGPT, to be honest. We, being intelligent humans, have the ability to learn and adapt. So how about computers? Slide, please. Artificial intelligence has been used interchangeably with machine learning. However, machine learning is actually a subsection of artificial intelligence. AI is an area of computer science that deals with computer vision, speech recognition, neural networks, image recognition, machine learning, natural language processing, and so on. I don't want to create the impression that you all need to learn all the areas that fall under AI. In reality, multiple areas of AI could be employed to drive needed results, and this happens without you realizing it. Slide. Up to the early 2000s, AI's research and development focused on expert systems, basically a way to programmatically capture human knowledge and expertise through computer coding. A simplistic way to think of this is a series of if-then coding statements and the ability to analyze the output and drive the best results. An example of this played out with IBM's Deep Blue, which was designed to play chess. Programmers, data scientists, and chess experts came together to develop Deep Blue to best the chess grandmaster, Garry Kasparov. In a 1996 match, Kasparov beat Deep Blue 4-2. However, in a rematch in 1997, Deep Blue's hardware was upgraded to allow it to process moves faster, and the follow-up match was won by Deep Blue 3.5 games to 2.5. Google Mind changed the game literally and set their sights on teaching a computer to play Go through self-play and by applying deep learning and neural network techniques in 2014 with a project called AlphaGo. The difference now is the computer is only provided the rules of the game and how to recognize the value or importance of a given move. In theory, the computer goes off to learn by playing the game over and over again to recognize patterns and create winning strategies. In 2016, AlphaGo faced off against Lee Sedol, a 9-dan professional, and won 4 out of 5 games. Then in 2017, KG, the #1 ranked player in the world for 2 years, was challenged by AlphaGo. The outcome of that match was AlphaGo winning 3 out of 3 games. So what happened to drive this transition between 1997 and 2016 and move from expert systems to deep learning?